Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's having a great day. Now, I want to talk about a small ticker that was making a crazy move yesterday. It's called SOGP. So, this one went from 375 here, came up to the first resistance here at 550, and then it just exploded. Broke over our resistance, stayed above it, and held it all the way up to the next resistance of 750. All right. Now, this is a place where you take some profit off. All right. Take some profit at a resistance point. Now, you leave some on the table, giving us a little bit of a pullback here, breaking above that resistance. There was a little bit of a push here, made a little bit of a pullback, created a beautiful flag when it came down to support line. Beautiful break of the trend line flag while it was holding that support and came all the way up to the next resistance here at 1025. All right. Now, this is another place where you take profit again. So you're hitting the next level of resistance point. This is your next target. So what are we seeing? We are seeing a little bit of a pullback flag, break over resistance, push up again. Beautiful move on the SOGP yesterday. Give us a pullback and look at this. How it broke over your resistance here. It was testing it again and again. Finally broke over resistance here. Held, got a little bit of a hold here. And then it just pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed all the way up to the next resistance here. Now, my resistance up here was a little bit higher. It didn't quite get all the way up to that resistance point. Not quite. Now, remember, my resistance point and my support lines I put in place before the move, all right? They are there before the move. That's why you are seeing this gap. It didn't quite get all the way up to my resistance point. That was my next target, all right? And then start pulling back with holds and stuff like this. But otherwise, it was a beautiful move. Now, this one came all the way down to support here, held that support. And what did it do? What did it do? What did it do? Held that support, pushing here again, right? So this is where you can add to your position with your stops just underneath that support line. Stops just underneath. I mean, your risk is very, very small, right? Very small risk. That's the whole point of how we trade. We want to minimize our risk. We want to minimize exposure to be red, right? Small risk. That's what you want to trade. All right. And look at the move. Boom, right? All the way up to the next resistance. Now we hit that resistance point we had, right? Beautiful move. And then what happened? Pulled back down again. All right. So this is where we are right now. I mean, this went from, I mean, it's crazy. But imagine you are buying just just let's say for just for fun, right? Just for fun for you guys who are afraid and stuff like this, right? So on a $50 share of the break over resistance, right, with stops just underneath where you have a risk of, well, 540 is your risk, right? Broke over. So very, very small risk for an upside move. So for 50 shares that cost $281, you would have made on this move 500, all right, on this move. Now, if you would take more, right? Just because I'm just showing you here that people are saying you need a lot of money, right? Let's say you take 500 shares. That will cost you $2,800. And your gains would be, what is that? $5,335, right? So that's why I'm trying to explain to a lot of people out there that are saying, oh, you need a lot of money to be able to trade. No, you don't. You need to be consistent. That's what you need to do with small risk, very, very small risk, and try to hit that move. Do you get those moves every single day? No, you don't. All right? But they do exist. They're coming nonstop. And I will show you more. I will show you more of this kind of tickers that are making those crazy moves. The whole point is there's always a trade out there, always a trade. You just need to be patient. We are not in here just press button and stop. In, out, in, out. No, be patient is the most important thing, right? With your risk management in place, it will show up. Beautiful volume in it, and it just exploded. All right? They're there every single day. All right, thanks, guys.